Hello and welcome back everyone to the next episode on SAP Analytics Cloud Training with me Anubhav. In our last session we talked about the concepts of BI and some of the BI features including data model. We talked about data models in SAP Analytics Cloud. We created both the acquired data model and acquired data model, public model and embedded model. Along with that we saw the classic model concept with account dimension. We've created multiple variety of widgets and also saw the data updates using the model in the last class. In today's session, we are going to go ahead and start with some advanced features on the VI. So let's get started. So I will switch over back to our specification document. So you see by far we've talked about model updates, and today we start with the advanced BI scenario. If you remember in the last session, I also discussed and talked about the concept of working with the POIS, the point of interest. So today we will start with advanced BI scenario. So the story which we've created using the sales data for Ann Jackson, we will continue with that for the mobility company. So Ann has created a BI dashboard as per the business requirement along with you. Now there is a further requirement to enhance the dashboard with some advanced BI features. These advanced BI features includes variances, conditional formatting, thresholds, reference lines, styling, and also the Smart Assist features, which are pre-built machine learning features in SAP Analytics Cloud. So let's talk about the first requirement, adding variances to the chart. So what is exactly the variance and when and why we use variance? So variance is basically allow you to check a value or a change in value in terms of percentage or in terms of a unit. Take a look at the stock price of a particular company. For example, Microsoft or Apple. So Microsoft has a stock, and last month what was the price of Microsoft stock? How was it behaved? How it performed as compared to last month or as compared to the previous periods? So this is how what we can check using the variance. So usually you see on news channels they show the change in stock prices or change in the prices of commodities like oil, gold, and different commodities. We can show the variances to show the change into the system. So I would like to show here a small chart to show performance of sales agent as compared to last year based on their sales numbers. So we want to show the value in percentage into a chart and only the top 5 agent. So I will switch over back to our analytics cloud system, and you can see this is our Ann Jackson dashboard story which we created by far into the system. Maybe I'll just create a fresh story today. So I'll go and create a story. Let's choose it as a canvas page. I'll go with classic design experience, and we will call it as advance. Rename the page. So you can see that we can add multiple pages of different kinds as per the design. And now I will go ahead and choose a chart. So let's go ahead and select SSC training, models, BI model, and we've created a sales data model earlier. I'm just going to pick that up. So you can see I picked that up, and now we have got a area for the chart. Now first of all I will show here the total order value which were delivered by a sales agent. So let's come back and choose sales agent. So these are the sales agents who have delivered the sales in your company. Now I would like to see the total top 5 sales agents. So let's go ahead and say rank top 5 sales agents. So these are the top 5 sales agents which we can see. Now I wanted to show for these sales agent what is the sales in the latest year. Yes. So now I can just go back and add a measure input control here or input control, and we choose a dimension as date. and I right now choose only 2021, which is assuming, let's say this is the latest sales available in the system. So right now the chart is showing the sales of 2021. Now what will I do? I wanted to compare how the sales agent is performing in terms of individual sales based on year basis. So right now we have data which is filtered out for year 2021. What I want to do is I wanted to show here how did the sales agent perform this year as compared to the last year. Yes, that's what we want to do. So in order to do that, we will add variances. So let's say somebody give me a sales of 600 this year, and last year the sales was 300 given by somebody in 2020. So you can clearly see there is a almost 100% jump in the sales. Yes. So this is the 100% jump in the sales given by somebody to me. So this is what is called variance, and it's a upside variance. Yes. For example, stock price of a company was 500 and now today it is 250. So it has actually downfall by 50%. So it's a downfall 50% variance. So when you compare or want to get variance, please understand and remember we need always a date filter first. Only then you can do the variance, otherwise you cannot do the variance. Yes, you must apply a date filter first on the system. So what I will now do is I go back, and in order to add variance there are two techniques. First technique is you can go here and you can choose add variance. Yes, this is option number one. Second technique is you can go here and you can say add, and you have a option called adding a variance. It's called open variance panel. Yeah, compare to open variance panel. Both the option does exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing both the options will do. Okay. So let me open the variance panel, and now you can see variance bar has come up over here, and I will choose add time, date, and I say current period with previous period. Wow. So look at on the right side, we've got a specialized chart which is showing how much increment or decrement is there in the sales value per sales agent, per field sales agent in terms of numbers. Wow, this is amazing. So now I can open display options, and you can see we can say I want to show percentage instead of number. So it shows now the percentage. So there is a 38% decline in Landry Jordan's sales as compared to last year. However, there are two sales agents, which is Alex and Mook. Mook is performing very good as compared to the last year's. Yes. So you can clearly see this number. Now, maybe I don't like to show this chart separately. I want to show directly these numbers over here next to my chart. So we can choose here data labels. And now you can see these numbers of percentages are being displayed along with the chart directly, they rather than a separate bar chart. You can also call integrated. When you do integrated, the numbers are also visible. So you see earlier it was this, and this year it is a decline. However, in this case, it's an incline. Yes. So in case of Alex and Mook, there is a slight increase in the sales. Yes. So you can see data level. Yeah. So anytime you can switch between number and percentage, and you can also show as well. You can invert color. Let's say if you are analyzing data for coronavirus. So in case of coronavirus data, a decline is considered to be good. Yes, a decline is considered to be good. So in that case, you would like to show invert color value. You want to change red to green or green to red. Then set no data to 0. So I want my chart to consider if there is no data for a field agent. Let's say this year the field agent has given no sales, 0 sales. I want to consider as 0 value and compare with the last year data also. Yes, so I will still want to show that data for someone who has given 0 sales this year, and that I want to compare as compared to last year. So show value of all time levels also, we can just click on that, and it will also consider all the time levels. You can also click on this I. So previous period will be calculated independently for each level of the time hierarchy that is displayed. Value will be aggregated across the hierarchy. So this is how we can show different values by calculating the values. Okay. So that's what we will do. Okay. So now let's go ahead and show also a similar variance chart with a KPI. So maybe I would like to see how my total sales is doing in the company. So we can just go ahead and add a chart, add a numeric chart, and add our measure as total order value. And now I go back to the styling panel, and then over here in the styling panel, we will just go ahead and do the formatting scale for billion, or let's say do million. So it's 3.10 million. And what I'll do is come back. So I showed you the option by opening it from here. Yes. But now I'll show you the option directly opening from here. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Add variance. I click on that. And now I will just say compare based on date. So you see there is a decline in sales by 4.68 million as compared to 2022. How much is this percentage? So in terms of percentage, it's a decline by 60% in the sales of our company, which is true. In 2021 we were hit hard by coronavirus, and there was indeed a decline in the overall sales of our company. Yes. So this is how exactly we can do. We can also go back, show height. We don't want to show subtitle. We don't want to show any kind of filter, rank, error, warning, drill. We don't want to show anything. We don't want to show secondary value labels, nothing. So this is the data which I wanted to show on the screen, so I keep that only. Similarly, I copy paste and I see is there any decline in the number of meetings as well. So we can go back, add, and we can just put here the number of meetings. So one more a smart option which SAP provide is called recommended comparison. So you see it also shows you recommended comparison. Yes, automatically. This is a smart feature in SAP Analytics Cloud. It automatically smartly calculates these things. Yeah. Okay. So now we have added a variance. I showed you the concept of variance. Both in case of any kind of chart, we can add variance. So that was our first feature for today. For top 5 agents, show a chart with all the variance values. Then coming to variance for count of orders. So you remember we have done the counting of orders also, but that we did it in the previous dashboard. So do we get that measure here? Perhaps not, but let me add a chart and I'll just check if we have count of order. We don't have. That is why we should do calculations at the model level. Okay. So now I come and I say create calculation, and I'm just going to aggregate, and I count again the number of orders. It adds, and I will switch to numeric point, and you see it shows recommended comparison. So this is third way of doing same thing. I showed you 3 techniques of doing same thing. I click and I say previous year, compare with previous year, and you see it shows me the comparison right away. It has automatically added this variance. I can edit, and then I get exactly same options to show percentage maybe. Yes, and I click OK. So this is how exactly we can add the another one, and I can drag drop it over here. Yeah. So these are my KPIs which I have added with the variance. So 3 different ways of doing same thing. I taught you one from the chart, one from the open variance panel, and another is from the recommendations provided by SAP. Okay. Moving on, we wanted to now show so this is done. Conditional formatting and threshold, very very interesting point. So let's first add a table for our data. So I'm just going to go back and add a table. Okay, before I move on, I wanted to also show you another very interesting chart. It's called bullet point chart. What is a bullet point chart? So bullet point chart is basically kind of a scale for comparison. It's a scale for comparison. Suppose you wanted to rate a list of students in your class on a scale of 1 to 10 based on their marks. So each student will show as a scale like this, and then you will mark or rate them, someone here, someone here, someone here, someone here, yes, and someone here. So this is called a bullet point chart. Now you can create a bullet point chart by rating someone based on a scale. Yes. Now it is mandatory for a scale chart or this kind of a chart to have already defined a conditional formatting. Yes, without which you will not be able to do. So let me go to designer panel. First I will add a chart, and if you just change this to a bullet chart, you can see that I need to add a threshold. It is mandatory. If you do not add a threshold, you will not be able to show a bullet chart. You see, this is a threshold. So on a scale, where does it's being rated? Yes, that is what we have to add. So first let's understand the concept of threshold and conditional formatting, and then we will talk about how to add this threshold and create a new threshold as well. You see, this is coming here in this example. So I will first go and show a conditional formatting and a threshold in the normal table control. So let's add a table, and I just move the table down and increase the width of the table. And now let me add here sales agent, product. I add customer and country, and then I can just add the measures, unit sold, order value. So this is our data set. So what it says create a threshold on at the story level if the value of the total order value is more than 70,000, it's good. If it's 50 to 70, it's warning. If it is less than 50,000, it's very bad. Okay, that is what we want to add. So we will add now a threshold defined by story defined threshold. So threshold can be defined at the model level also. It can also be defined at the story level also. So let's go ahead and create a threshold first. Anything which is a order value which is greater than 70,000 is very good. Yes, so let's go back to document. 70,000, above 70,000, very good. 50 to 70 and less than 50. So you can see this exercise here. Anything which is above 70,000 is very good. So this value I would consider is still good because sales given by this agent is more than 70,000. If it is, let's say, 50 to 70, which comes under, or let's say 50 to 90, we can put. So these two will be displayed as good one, or which is warning orange. But anything below 60 is bad for company. So you see these are below 60. So let's create a threshold first. I go here and I have an option called conditional formatting, very very important. And now we will add a threshold. So you can see we have model defined threshold. Right now we've not defined at any model level. If you define threshold at a model level, you can reuse it again and again. And if you define at story level, then only this story can use it. And it is mandatory to create a threshold to also create a bullet chart. So let's first create a threshold, and I say model is this. Okay, my measure is total order value. If my total order value is above um, 90,000. It's very good. Uh, It's very good for a sales agent. Now I will add another one. If it is between 60,000 to 90,000, then it's a warning. But if the sales is below 60,000, it's a pure red. I would classify that sales agent in a red category. So we have got a threshold created over here at a story level for a value for order value. I click on apply. You can see it has come, but it has no impact on my chart. Yes. So guys, thresholds are created in a way that they are reusable. So once you create a threshold, it can be reused by multiple charts. Whichever chart you want to apply this threshold, you have to go to that chart, open the builder panel in the chart, and against this measure, you see this small icon called threshold option. Yes, very important. Earlier, this icon was not coming. Why? Because we had no threshold defined for this order value. But since we define now, the icon is coming. I click on that and I say show threshold story defined. Voila, there you go. Look at that. Landry Jordan, who is giving a sales more than 90,000, is coming in the green. Someone between 60 to 90 is coming in the orange, and the someone which is below 60 is coming in the red. Wow, nice. So this way you can do conditional formatting with the help of threshold. So this is called conditional formatting. What you see is conditional formatting. What you define to achieve conditional formatting was a threshold. Now I can create also a bullet chart. How? Simply copy this chart, paste next to it, and click here and create a bullet chart. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how my sales agents are performing. I click on that and you see on a scale of 1 to 10 how your where does your agent lie. So this agent lie here on the scale, this agent lie here on the scale, this agent lie here on the scale. So if I have to promote between these two, I will of course promote Anthony, because in a orange scale he lies here, he lies more than Alex in on a orange scale. Yes, so this is how exactly we can see a, a quick comparison between our dimension value against a measure on a bullet chart. Yes, now on a same fashion we can also apply conditional formatting and threshold on a table control as well. So I will show you that as a next. So bullet chart we have done. What is the warning we see next to top of bullet chart? So this is performance warning. Variance is not supported for bullet. Yes, so it's a warning because you see this variance which we added for this chart. Since we copied the chart, it says variance is not supported. So no problem, we select and we have this variance here. You see, I can just delete and you see the warning is gone. Yeah. So let me save the story because it's cloud, it's browser. And if I lose the internet connection or if there's a connectivity problem, I will lose everything what I see here. So let me save this story first. I can go to content, stories, and I can say BI story, sales dashboard advance. So whatever I'm covering here in the class, I'm just teaching each concept, but eventually you have to go back and practice these things. Yeah. So let's come back. Now we will see how to order value for customer and change to bullet. We already did that. Now add multiple conditional threshold based on performance of the sales agent. We also did that based on performance of the sales agent, multiple conditional threshold. Now coming to table. So in the table, we will first go and change the styling of the table to remote styling. So let me just come to the table control. We already created a table with the sales agent, country, and which segment did they give the sales. Maybe I'll just remove the segment. Yes. So sales agent and country and how many units they sold in this country and how was the order value. So what I want to do is maybe I will also add order ID, guys. and I just drag drop order ID. You can reorder columns. You see how easy it is to reorder columns. You see now order ID. So on each order you have for each sales agent in each country how many units were sold. Yes. Now what I want, if okay, we want to show number of meetings here. Yes, let's add number of meetings. So you see number of meeting are 29, 21, 40, 8, 7. So again, I want to add a threshold here indicating how good is this, how good was this sales agent when it comes to a particular order. Yes. So what we say is we define a threshold on number of meetings. If a sales agent is active or not, it's an indicator. It's an indicator if this person is active or not in his job. What is job of sales agent? To go and meet customers, have as many meetings as possible with customers to bring more business. Yes, that's what ideally a sales agent supposed to do. So I wanted to create a threshold once again and write down the rule. If the number of meetings were more than 30, it's okay. 20 to 30, it's a warning, and below 10 is an error. So let's go back more conditional formatting. I will now open a threshold, and this time I will choose measure as number of customer meeting. Now I just come here and I will add, if it is more than 40, it's very good. If it is 20 to 40 is okay, but if it is below 20, then it's dangerous for that sales agent. That sales agent is not performing good. Yes. So let's click on apply. So you see again the next one is applied here, but it has no impact on your table until you go back and do this. So click on done, and if I come back on my table, next to the account dimension, we see the more option and we see threshold here. And I say show threshold. Click on that. Voila! Look at that, guys. So both for your order value and for customer meeting, you have threshold. If you don't want to show threshold for one column, you can exclude that hopefully. Let me just check. Can we do that? View all thresholds. Is it possible to hide for just one threshold? And I say none. So for this column, I don't want to show. I am only interested to show threshold for this column. You can see. So anything which is above 40 and 40 is very good. Anything between 20 to 40 is also okay. But you see these agents, they are not meeting customer enough. If you not go to customer, if you not have meeting with customer, you cannot make the sales. Customer will not come to you to make sales, right? So this is a very good indicator next to each line. Now, with respect to threshold, we have another amazing number of settings which we can control over here. So we can go to styling of the table control, and we have different styling options provided by SAP with respect to the threshold. So we can just come down and there are options to show styling for the threshold. Yes. So threshold is style, you see. I choose color value. So you see now instead of showing the icon, it shows the color differently. So let me make this value little bolder. So I can come and select my cells, make it bold. I just do table styling, Georgia up to 20, or maybe just again select up to 16. Yes. And I can center my text. So look at how beautiful the data look like when it comes to these numbers. Beautiful. So let's go up, and I want to show color background. You see color background now for threshold. Non-transparent, you see non-transparent, and also without value. So sometime let's say you want to publish marks of a student. So you don't want to humiliate someone. You don't want to put exact numbers, but you just want to say, I want to categorize you guys into three category: green, red, and orange. Like for example, zones, corona zones. You don't want to show to the public exact numbers in their region for coronavirus cases because that may cause a panic. So you just wanted to show here the whether it is green zone, red zone, or yellow zone. So this way you can also show threshold values. If a particular area corona cases exceeds this value, it's a red zone. Yes. So you just categorize this and you not show exact numbers, rather you show the colors. So this way you can hide the values. So let me go with a symbol one, looks better. Yeah. Okay, let's also style our table a bit. So we select here the table and we come down, we make it center text, change it to Times New Roman and 14, and I change the color of the value to blue color. Wow. So look at that, how beautiful our table look like. I just go and change also the table styling to report styling. So we can add border. So we choose the report styling for the table or alternate row color. Click OK. And you see now table has a alternate row color. So these are some of the styling options which you can patch in to your table control very easily. Can we show the color dark to light depending on their count on the respective threshold range? No, we cannot do that. That's something which we cannot control. But yes, for the chart you can do. Let me copy this. Let me create another chart. I will add a bullet chart. And now what I will do is I will add another measure. Let's say order value again. And I will add order value against my dimension, customer, range. So customer status. Yes. Or maybe again I choose sales agent, and I see only top 5, and I'll change the chart to donut chart. Yes. So now I will just go back to order value and I say show threshold. You can see colors also coming here. Now what you can do is go back to the conditional formatting, go to this order value. Yes. Edit, and in this you can come down to add filters. You can add further filters, you can add ranges also. Let me just see we can add colors or not. So while we define, I think we can define colors. No, it's not showing. Okay. So we cannot do that, but we can just assign colors here. You see this option called assign colors. So I click on that and I say, I have the data here for, let's say, each country or each sales agent. So I wanted to show maybe this chart, I'll change it to country. So I'll just go back and change this chart to per country wise sales. And I want to show top 3 countries. Rank, top N, and change it to top 3. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3 countries. I want now my own colors for this country. Yes, my own colors. So for United States, I want blue. For UK, I want yellow. And for China, I want red. So red, blue, and yellow. You can do that. So go back to more conditional formatting and define assign color. And now you can choose country. So let's say United States. I want always in blue. So let's go and make blue. For US, I want UK to be yellow, this yellow here, and I want China to be red. Yes, apply and say done. And now let's go back to the chart, and here in the country we can just say none. So the moment you remove the story defined threshold, you can see now the color coding takes place. So more precedence, because if you have threshold, threshold will take more precedence. But once you remove the threshold, you see now US is blue, UK is orange, yellow, and the China is red. So this is called assign color option. You can create your own colors of your choice. Is this what you ask, Sandeep? Dark to light depending on their count in the respective threshold range. So within the threshold, you cannot do much, but here you can assign the colors of your own choice when you want for any particular dimension. So you have that flexibility using the same setting called conditional formatting. Okay, let's come down to the next requirement, linked model with custom calculated column in cell chart. So now I would like to show here a data for our linked model. Remember the last class, how did we do linked model? So Sandeep is having another question. I mean same color but show light to dark depending on their count, but it's fine. I'll try. I can find it out. So what you can do, you can choose color palettes. Different color palettes are there which you can choose. So you see this. So any of the color palette you can give it a try here. Okay. All right. So moving on, we have linked model with custom calculated column and in cell chart. I would like to basically compare that for each agent, how much was the target given to them? Yes. Or for each product, what was the target given to them and how much is what they achieved? And then that comparison, I would like to show it as a in-cell chart also. So let's do it for a product. So I'm just going to add another table. It has come and I will now show here product wise sales. So let's show here total order value and unit sold as account dimension, and we choose here product category and product. Yes, I can reorder the columns. Yes, and now what I want is I wanted to add our linked model like we did in the last episode. So let's add our target model. And now we will link product with product. Don't forget to choose ID and ID. We did this in the last class. Those who are joining today for the first time, please check the last class to understand the concept of linked model. I click on set. It's like a foreign key relationship between two tables. Click set. And now we have got a linked model. You see, I will now add our account dimension from the another linked model also. So let's add account from target. What is the total sales? I choose account first and then I will add values from account. So say target value, target unit. So now you see a quick comparison in the table between how much was the order value which is actually come and how much was the target unit which were there for this product. What I can do, I can select both, right click, and I choose here something called add column with calculation and subtract. Wow, look at this option. So I wanted to compare based on what was my target sales for each product versus how much we have attained. So I click on repeating and this should add now a new column called subtract. You can see this column, guys. So this is what how much we are right now still lagging as compared to what was planned for this product. It's called cross calculation. You see system created a cross calculation. I put cross calculation column at the end. Yes, it's not moving. Okay, anyways, so we've got this column over here called cross calculation. Can I move this column towards the end table function? Is it possible to change the order of the column? Can I cut and move? I don't know. Should be possible ideally. No, it's not showing, guys. Okay, so basically it has done a subtraction of this value, the value of my actual order, with this value, which was target. Yeah, how much was the target and how much we have achieved. And maybe I'll just go back and get rid of the other accounts. I just want to keep one account, guys. So I just go back and I just want to keep order value, and for the other one also I want to keep just order value. Yes, so I think I've subtracted the wrong value. I've subtracted it wrong, so let me remove this column. So I can come back and I can right click and I say remove this column. Now I will just select these two first, the order value, target value, right click and add a new calculation called subtract repeating. Yes, so you see now the column is added at the end. Perfect. So this column is just a value, but I'm not happy with the value. I want to basically give a intuitive comparison for our end user about how far we deviated from our sales. So we can right click and say in cell chart. Wow. Click on that and there you go. And I would want the chart color to be in the red. So we can just go ahead and can we change the setting of this chart? Hopefully yes. Hopefully yes. Let me just check the styling. So table properties, color fill. So somewhere we should see also the in cell chart properties, and you see axis. So we can change the color hopefully. Yes, you see axis color. So can we also change the cell? So we should have setting for this in cell chart, show data values. No, it's not showing me a option to change the color for that in cell chart. It's not showing me an option for that. No styling option for in cell chart. Okay, so but at least you can see we are able to get over here this in cell chart showing the value. So this shows me how far we deviated from our target sales. What was target, what was planned, how far we deviated. This is a great feature of SAP Analytics Cloud. Yes, in cell chart. Now one more feature I would like to demonstrate. I want to calculate an average on this first chart, an average line I want to print for all these values. I want an automatic average to be calculated. So for that, what you can do is you can go here to more options and add a reference line. Click on that. And now say I want to add a dynamic reference line based on my order value measure and calculate an average of order. Yes. And I just show here, yeah, this is okay. And I can say average. Yes. Anything which is above the average, I want to show green color, green area. Anything which is below the average, I want to show red area. Yes. So you can see now for these five values, there is an average which is displayed, and anything above the average is show green color, and this is called red zone. So red zone and green zone I've created. You can also change the line color, let's say to blue, and you can change the label color as well over here for this. So this is how we can add also a reference line in our chart and categorize our data for better visualization to the end user how good it is doing. Let me save, and let's say this chart is so critical for my business. I can just click on the chart and I can send this chart directly to the home page. So you see the pin to home option. If I do this, the chart is now pinned to the home page. So the moment we start SAP Analytics Cloud every day, this chart will be displayed on the home screen for the user. So if I come back, you can see the chart on the home screen. Yes. So if it is absolutely important for the business perspective to have a control, to have a data displayed every day, the moment user start, this can be sent to the dashboard, to the home page. So we can pin anything to the home page. We can get a full screen option to also see the data over here. So user will, the moment they log in, they will see these critical alerts right away. You see there is a bug in SSE. After I reduce the width, data got corrupted. Yeah, not corrupted. Basically, the visualization got interrupted. Now it's fine. So there are minor issues are also there in the tool, which you might encounter when, as in when you go further in the tool. Yeah. So we talked about how to add a custom column. Yes, by right clicking and adding a custom column, and then also adding a in cell chart to our data set. Yes, this is what we have seen. Now, yes, we have guys option to change the color of the chart also. I think you see, I select the chart carefully now, and we have color palettes for the chart. You see, it's changing. We do have. Yes, look at that. Okay. So now let's move to the next requirement called styling option. We want to add logo of the company. We want to hide scales and filters. We want to change background and foreground color, and we want to change story preference. So let's do that. We will first come here, and you see this one warning. Yes, we see this one variance. We see 5 dimension one variance. This look very dirty. So what you can do is come here and say hide and show options, and we can then hide all these things. Yes, see, like this. So we will just say hide, 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 hide. So every detail we want, we can hide, you see. Now this looks very clean. Same way we can do for the another chart with hide and show options. Yes, show and hide options. So this is how we can change the show hide options. Let's do for other sides. Yes, and you can see how clean our chart look like. Then we can change the background color. So we can add a direct color. So just click on your main dashboard and go to styling panel, and here you can change background color. You don't want to change every control color manually, so you can directly go here on the top, and we can go to the preference. This way we can apply the coloring and the effect on the entire page in one go. So let me choose all pages and lanes, and I want a gradient color, dark, vertical. So we don't have lanes, so let's keep it as it is. And for a dark color, we need the white as a foreground color for the chart. It will look better. So for everywhere, I just go and make the change in one go. Click OK, apply. It hasn't changed the background. Yes, now it has changed. So you can see this is our application. Now, what I want to do is I wanted to also go back and just move this guy down and add our company logo. So here we'll add company logo. So click on add a clock, and also add a company logo. For everything, you can go to designer styling panel and you can just change the settings over here on the right hand side. Yes. Let's add a company logo, add image, and I will get the image from our SSE material images, and I can get the company logo. And you can see how my company logo comes up. I can drag it over and drop it over here. And now we can click on save. Our dashboard is ready with advanced BI features. And if you can go to the view mode, this is our content. Amazing, beautiful. So the next topic which I want to show in this series is called Trellis. What is Trellis? Let's come to a requirement in our company where we would like to show many charts based on dimension. So what is Trellis? Trellis will allow us to replicate analytics based on dimension. So what do we mean by replicating? So take an example that we have created a sales breakup by customer segment in a pie chart. So let me show you creating a sales breakup. So I'll add a new canvas page. Let's rename it to Trellis. I add a chart and I want to add a pie chart of my total order value by my customer segment. So this is my total order value per customer segment. I can see on the UI. Yes. Now the thing is, guys, what I want. This is happy. I'm happy. This is at organization level. But I want to show this sales breakup per country. Per country. For each country, I want to know what's my sales breakup per customer segment. So this one is for entire company, but I have business in multiple countries. I want to see it for each country. So option one, as an analytic cloud consultant, you will copy this and paste it, paste it, paste it, paste it, paste it, and you go here and then you add a filter in the builder panel. Let's say for the first country, Afghanistan. Then you come here for the second country, add filter on country, Algeria. Then you go here, add a filter, country, Albania. Then Argentina. Like this, India, China, Russia, Korea. So you will be keep adding, keep adding, keep adding. Do you think if I have many countries or many values of dimension, it could be anything. It could be by customer. I want to see sales breakup by customer. I want to see sales breakup by product, by geolocation. I want to see it by currencies. Yes. So what do you think? Will it be a good idea to replicate or copy many charts and then for each chart add a filter? What do you think? Is this a good idea? Is this a easy way? Is this a good idea? Maybe not. Maybe not. Thanks to SAP Analytics Cloud Trellis feature, it can replicate your chart automatically. Yes. So suppose we show a sales breakup by customer segment in a pie chart. Now we want to see this sales breakup for each country. So country is your dimension. So option number one is we create copies of this chart, one chart, and add filter inside each chart. Option two is trellis. Yeah, you can go section. Of course, section I showed you in the last class that anyway we can go. Yes. But my business is not agreeing. They don't want to use the scroll button. In section, you get a scrolling option, right? User has to scroll, scroll, scroll. Yes. So they don't want scrolling. They just want to see all the charts in one screen. Okay. So no, we don't need to do create copy. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. We just need one chart. Yeah. And now I can just go to designer and I say chart structure and I say trellis. Click on that and now we'll choose add dimension and we will choose here in the dimension as country. I choose country and now wow Anubhav, look at that guys. For the countries it has automatically created those many charts. Replication guys, replication. It has replicated these charts for you out of the box for each country. Isn't that amazing? But trellis has a limitation. What's the limitation? 33. 33. How much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 31 charts is maximum you can show in a trellis. 31 charts is it can create. So if your dimension values, unique dimension values are not exceeding, it's below and equal to 31, then trellis is a good choice of option to show a breakdown of charts into the system based on a dimension. Yes. So for each country, you see, for Belize, Benin, Bermuda, Bhutan, yes, for each country, you see the country names here. Bangladesh, Bahrain. So for each country, it is showing you now the breakup of your total order value per customer segment. Yes. But remember, it should be used when your dimension values are below 31 or equal to 31, then it will show you all the charts. There is no other way because it has a limit. The limit is set by SAP, not by me, of course. SAP have set this limit to 31. So SAP says if something which is 31 and below 31, you can go ahead with this one, a trellis option. So it's indeed a very good option rather than you creating so many charts. You can use the trellis. Okay. So that was the concept of trellis. The next concept is called chart scaling. What is chart scaling? Let's learn about that concept also. Chart scaling. So I come back to the PPT. Chart scaling. What is chart scaling? So example, we have two back-to-back charts. So we have two back-to-back charts in our application, or we have kept multiple charts next to each other. We want to show a quick comparison between them. But the problem is SSE will put default scaling for each chart to adjust data and fit content. So if we compare charts keeping side by side using different scales, it will not be right. Okay, it will not be right. So let us go ahead and understand an example. When you build your first chart, for example, you go to Analytics Cloud and you build a chart. Like in school days, if I'm putting here marks of each student and the total marks of entire class. So when you build the first chart of marks of a student, individual student, and I want to compare these marks with marks of a class. Yes, this chart will be run on a scale of 1 to 100. Yes, y-axis will be 1 to 100. Yes, that is the typical scale for each marks because nobody can score more than 100. But when it comes to totaling the class marks, each class let's have five students. So total number of marks can be 500. So if you see here, this will be scaling from 1 to 500. The scales are different. So this the highest peak here is 500 for the second chart. However, for the first chart, the highest peak which you see is 100. Yes. If you keep both the charts side by side, it is not fair to compare because this chart on the topmost node, yeah, this chart, the topmost value is marked 100 and the middle value is 50. However, if you put here on this chart, this value on the top is 500. So you cannot keep both the charts side by side. You can't compare them. It is unfair to compare, right? Are you guys understanding? If I compare these two charts by keeping side by side, is it fair to compare? Is it fair to compare? No, because their scalings are different. This scale is up to 500, then this scale is up to 100. So if you keep them side by side and compare, it's not fair. It's not fair. If you're just keeping them here, it's not fair to compare. What is fair? The fair is this chart should also have same scaling, or at least this chart should have same scaling. So in this chart, if you put the same scale, then the value will also come as 1 to 500 for student marks. So one of the students scored 100. The 100 on this 500 scale is something like this, and 50 on the 500 scale is something like this. Now you compare them, it's comparable because this is both scales are now same. Everybody, do you understand? Yes or no? Chart scaling. In order to compare two charts or more than two charts on parallel side by side, we need to make sure that they scale equal. Only then it is fair enough. Only then it is fair to compare. Otherwise, it's not fair to compare. Yes. Let us go ahead and see this in action. I will go back and add two charts. So first chart, I will add the total order value by each customer. I'll do it as vertical. Let's also change background color and I'll drill down to the customer data. And I'm only willing to see top 5 customer, for example, or top 8 customers. So you see, what is the maximum value do you feel? What is the maximum value of what is the maximum scale value of this chart? What do you feel, guys? What's the max value for this chart? What do you feel? 37? No, perhaps not. Perhaps not. I think it is 40. This value is 40. So this value is 37 and half of 40 is this 20. This is where 20 is. Yes, something like this. And all of these are about 20. Are you guys clear? The scale value is not visible, but are you clear what is the scale which Analytics Cloud had decided for this chart? 40K. That's the max value on this chart. Is this clear? Yes. Now let's put another chart. This another chart is going to be again the order value, vertical, per sales agent. Yes, per sales agent. Now I want to only see top 8. What do you think? What's the scale of the another chart? What's the maximum value if it touches the top of the chart? What's the maximum value of this scale? This scale of the chart. What is the maximum value in your opinion? Anyone? Yes, it is 800k. So this is 700k. This is 4500k. Let's say 4500k. Can you compare both of them keeping side by side? Is it fair to compare keeping both charts? Is this value and is this value comparable? No, because this guy is operating on a scale of 800s k. It's hundreds k, and this is just tens k. Yeah, this is tens k, this is hundreds k. Their scales are different. You cannot compare them. So if you want to compare them, what is the option? You want to compare them keeping side by side. Select both the charts, and then we have an option called chart scaling. Chart scaling. If I zoom out, it comes right over here. You see this icon, chart scaling icon. We already did conditional formatting, guys, few minutes ago. This we already did. Yes, this is the one, chart scaling. I select both the charts with control key, and I click chart scaling, and I say scale based on my order value. Done. Now you see they are comparable. Now you see they are comparable, because for the another chart also the top scale is 800k, and on 800k this 37,000 is just here. Is just here. Yeah. Is this clear? Hello. Chart scaling concept in SSE. If two charts are kept side by side, since their scales are different at a different level, it is unfair to compare them. We wanted to make sure that they both operate on a common scale so that it can be compared. This concept is called chart scaling in SSE. All right. Okay. So let's take a break here for 8 minutes. And on the other side of the break, we will begin with Smart Assist features in Analytics Cloud. I'll be back after a short break of 8 minutes. Okay, guys, welcome back after the break. So before the break, we talked about the concept of trellis and chart scaling. Let's now go ahead and talk about the concept of exception aggregation. So let me go back to our model. What is exception aggregation and why do we use it? So if I go back to our content, model folder, BI model, and open our sales data model, we can go to account dimension, and you see this option called switch to grid mode. I click on that, and now we have this option called aggregation type and a option called exception aggregation. Yes. So what I did is I went to the modeler. I went to the modeler and I just open our sales data model. Yes. And I go to account dimension, and in the account dimension, then I will just go ahead and choose this grid option. So you see between these, I can switch to the grid option. Yeah. That is what I'm doing. Now, once I switch to the grid option over here, I can just go ahead and now see this option called exception aggregation. So what is exception aggregation? So exception aggregation is equivalent to group by clause in database. If you work with databases, it is equivalent to the group by clause. So let me show you an example of what is exception aggregation. Yeah, I'll just go back to the PPT and just write down what is exception aggregation. So an exception aggregation is used to aggregate data like sum, min, max, average based on a dimension. If you compare this, it is equal to a group by clause in SQL query. So what is group by clause? Suppose I have data in my system for country wise sales. So I have country and I have sales. So I have India, sales is 500. I have India again sales 800. US sales 900. US sales 150 100 and India again 100. I ask now to the system what's my total sales or what's my average sales. So it will be 500 plus 800 plus 900 plus 1500 plus 100. Divide by total number of countries is 5. Make sense? But if I say what is my average sales, divide by total number of entries basically. We have 5 entries. Yes. So this is what will be the result of average sales because it will divide the count. It will divide the sum divide by count. So the value here comes is 500 plus 800 plus 900 plus 1500 plus 100. So 3800 divided by 5. 760 will be the value. But if I say average sales per country, so how many unique countries are here in the data set? Yes, we have only two unique countries. So the moment I say give me the average sales per country, so the denominator part should be 2. Yes. So this will be 3800 divided by 2, 1900. Do you understand the difference between the calculation? When you do a average sales, it is divided by count of entries. But when you do average sales per country, it's divided by count too because there are only two unique countries in my data set. Is this clear? Yes or no? Is this clear? Yes. So that is what is happening in the system. So this is called exception aggregation. You are doing aggregation, but based on exception. Exception is country. If you compare with select query, it is select country or average of sales from database table group by country. So this group by comes for country because we are doing country wise exception aggregation. How do you achieve in Analytics Cloud is using exception aggregation. So let me show you an example where I will first calculate average and I'll calculate average sales per country. So I come here and I say average per average country. I will also add average customer. Yes. So now if you go back, you can say exception aggregation. I want to calculate an average and I have to give dimension as country. Then I'll calculate average dimension as customer. So you can choose anything, product, customer, anything. It's up to you. Up to you what you want to choose, how you want to give shape to your data. I save this data. I will straight away go to the story now because we have the calculation in the model and I'll explain here exception aggregation. So I go here, I will calculate now table and I will just come change background color. So I will also go back to model and I will just create an average. And here I will choose My formula as total sales, order value, and I will apply this. Okay, I forgot to choose order value here also, guys. It's very important because you're calculating order value by aggregation. And here I choose aggregation type is just average. Just average. I save this data. And now watch out. I'll show you here the average and the exception aggregation average. So if you go back, okay, one second, account type, calculated on aggregation type. Okay, let's go ahead and see now. I go back to the table. The moment you come here, you will see additional account dimensions now called average country, average customer, and average sales. So I will calculate the average sales myself on the fly in the data set. So now you can see average country is this, and I will calculate myself a new account dimension using a formula called order value. It's not allowing me. Let me just add a chart, add measure, and I will add a calculation order value divide by count. This is my simple average. So I calculated a simple average as 6205. Whatever is my total sales, whatever is my total sales, divide by number of records. This is my this is my plain average. But if you see the average per country is 68,000. Yes. So basically whatever is the total sales, it just divide by number of unique countries. Average sales per customer 6230. Yes. So many time in your company, your business may ask you, tell me the average per unique customers, per unique country, or tell me just plain average. Are you understanding, guys, the calculation difference? A plain average is just total divided by number of records in your data set. But a exception aggregation average per customer is total amount divided by unique number of customers or unique number of products or unique number of countries. Yes. Are you clear? Exception aggregation, yes or no, everyone? What is the use of cross calculation? That I'll explain in the next episode when we go to planning. So we use cross calculation in planning. I will show that in the planning. Okay. So this is how we can calculate exception aggregation in Analytics Cloud. Please give it a try today. Now moving on to the next very interesting and important features in SAC is Smart Assist. So what is Smart Assist portfolio? So SAP Analytics Cloud integrate machine learning seamlessly into the business process and workflows. Leveraging the machine learning is to save time, remove complexity, and gain actionable insight. So there are these 7 features of machine learning which are part of SAC. Search to insight, smart discovery, smart insight, time series forecast, R visualization, smart grouping, and smart transformation. Out of these, we have already experienced smart transformation when we, if you remember, when we go to the model, in the model, we've already seen this in the past. Okay. Now we will talk about all these other features one by one. So my first feature is called Smart Insight. So I'll show each feature one by one. This entire portfolio is called Smart Assist, means all the features together. Yes. So the first feature is called Search to Insight. It is also known as Augmented Analytics. In this option, we can ask questions to SAC in natural language, not programming language, but natural language like English. Yes, which works as command for SAC system. Have you heard about Siri or Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant? Yes, very similar to that. Yes, these results the produce by Search to Insight can be published to stories easily. Let me show you an example. You go back. The moment you go to SSE, you see this button on the top called Search to Insight. Click on that and now start asking questions to SSE in a normal human being. So, hey SSE, show me total order value by country. Yes, plain English. Enter. It automatically scan all the model where it can find the measure or dimension, and it will show automatically the proposals. So to show me total order value by country, I press enter. No data is available. There is something wrong today. Let me remove. So first we can choose the model. So I will go and choose the model. It's not showing anything. I think there is a setting change which we have to do. Show suggested model. So we have to do a setting change in order to make our model aware or make our model consumable by Search to Insight. So this is maybe a recent change by SAP. Let me go inside the model and change the model preference. Yes. So you see in the model preference, there is an option called Search to Insight. Right now, this model is not indexed. If I index this model, what system does? It will register my model now for Search to Insight. If you not do this setting in the model, your model will not be utilized for any Search to Insight. So any model you want it to be utilized for Search to Insight, you have to come and select this searchable. Click OK and save. And now let's go back once again to Search to Insight feature. I go back and now I search here total order value by customer. I press enter. Voila! Total order value by customer, guys, with a hierarchy. Nice. There you go. Search to Insight, guys. Search to Insight. I can say number of meetings, number of customer meetings by country. Yes, enter. You can see number of customer meetings by each country. What's my gross margin by sales agent? You see suggestions also. I click, you will see, there you go. by each sales agent what's a gross margin. You can now also go back and manually choose the model. So you don't want SSE to choose any model randomly. You can also go back and choose the model. There is something wrong. It's not showing it is still. The change is not reflected. But this is called search to insight. Yeah, you can say as pie chart. Enter. You see as a pie chart. So based on the natural language, somebody who have no idea of SSE, they can also go back and build analytics very easily thanks to search to insight feature in SSE. The next feature comes is called smart discovery. So these are small machine learning powered by machine learning feature. There is no coding required. It's all automatically done by system. Yeah, it might help to refresh the screen. Yes, you're right. So I can press F12, right click and empty cache hard reload to choose my model. Yeah. So refresh would help because it's all running in the browser. So I can go back again and choose. No, it's not showing, guys. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. I have enabled it already. Maybe it is indexing the model. Maybe we can come back and try it tomorrow because it is still indexing the model. Indexing will take some time so that Analytics Cloud can rearrange the data in a way that it can be consumable by search to insight. So we'll check that back again. Selection will check back tomorrow. Okay, next feature is called Smart Discovery. Imagine your business user, functional consultant have no idea about SSE. Yes. What if I give someone a computer and that computer can find out all the patterns in your header data and it can automatically generate insights for you. So what if you get a built-in data scientist who can take care of your data and who can prepare the best possible analytics for your data automatically? Yes, yes, smart discovery. It allows us to use complete, powerful, inbuilt, computerized data scientist inside SSE. Yes, you get this out of the box. It can generate complete story pages, find unusual data, discover hidden patterns, create value analysis, slice and dice our data directly, automatically to provide best insight to user. Usually applied by choosing most important measure or measures of our model. So it's a built-in data scientist sitting just over there. So let me show you. I go back to create a story. I don't like to create anything manually. I say start my smart discovery. Click on that. Classic experience, click create. And now you see it's just asking your model. Okay, it's my sales data model, please. I say got it. And now I choose my most important measure, order value. I can also choose most important dimensions, multiple I can choose. Let's say these are the most important dimensions for my company. And then I can click on run. So there is a inbuilt data scientist sitting, not a human. Basically, it's a computer which is analyzing, slicing and dicing and combining the data based on predefined rules by SAP. This intelligent logic is built in by SAP, and it will prepare a complete dashboard for you out of the box. Yes, that's the power of smart discovery. You'll see it in a few seconds. It is going to create a very, very powerful database, a very powerful story for us out of the box. It's going to take few minutes or few seconds, and you will get that entire story built in one go with multiple pages. Yes, that's what the system will do. And there you go. Look at that. Nice. Look at that. Key influencer in your business. Lots of insight was produced out of the box. Out of the box. You literally don't have to do anything. It's all done out of the box. Unexpected values were identified. Simulations were done. Yes. Wow. What if my unit sold increased to 891? What's the impact on my revenue? And what if the sales agent is ooh? And what if it's a prior customer? And what if I increase the number of meetings to 49? What's the impact of these changes on my business, on my revenue? Click on simulate. There you go. Your revenue will jump by 14% if these conditions are met. Whoa, amazing. It's automatically generated by SAC. Thanks to the next machine learning powered feature, Smart Discovery. Okay, next comes is Smart Insight. It allows us to find the most contributing dimension on a particular measure. Example, if we have a data set with population per country, when we apply Smart Insight, the system will confirm that China and India are the top contributors to the population. We can further drill down from there to generate more insights. So let me show you Smart Insight. I'm going to switch over back. I will now create a new story, canvas, or maybe I'll open the story which we already created. So let me open the initial dashboard which we created in the last episode. So you can see here I have the detail of the bikes. I click on more option and I will choose add smart insights. Wow. Which is the most contributing dimension value in my entire data set? It will identify. In short, it will identify which bike is giving you the maximum profit in your company. Add in smart insight. It's calculating, and you see at the bottom, it has auto generated this text in human readable format. This bike has highest order value. The sum of May 2021 is this, and the total of April is this, a decrease of 14% as compared to March. Wow. You can click view more and it will open more insights about this data. Wow. Wow. Amazing. You can copy this chart directly to your new canvas page. Nice. Cool now. Come back again. Furthermore, you can drill down and see China is the top country contributor with the top 10 value contributing to 30% overall. Yes. You can click expand You can further go inside. Yes, you can further go inside. You see, look at these values. Amazing. So maybe I just copy this again to my new canvas page. And then I have this data. I can again go and click more, add more smart insight on top of this. You can see again it has calculated something for us. Go inside, view more, order value in China. It is declining. So you can copy this. So this way you can keep multiplying. You see this particular sales agent is contributing the most in China. Yes. So you can keep incrementing, keep multiplying your work in the same manner with smart insight. Yes. That's the next feature of smart insight. The next feature is called automatic forecasting or smart forecasting. It is done on a measure which is function of time. Have you heard about weather forecast report? Tonight it's going to rain, right? So it's a function of time always. Forecast is always a function of time. So your one of the x-axis will be always time. SAC provide built-in algorithms to calculate forecast. We can choose from automatic to linear regression, or we can choose triple smoothing. One of these algorithms you can choose. So this will be something which business will tell you which one to choose, which one is best fit for your data set to do forecast. Let's see an example. I go back and create a new chart, and I show here the change in my, so I go and change the data model to sales data. I want to know what is the change in my order value per function of time, and I will change this to a time series chart. So let's add the time dimension. So this is my sales for each time. Yes. Now you can see we have the data till May 2021. I want SAP Analytics Cloud to auto calculate future expected sales. Can go here, and now we choose add forecast, automatic, linear or triple smoothing. I choose automatic, and now you see it automatically calculated sales after May, June, July, August, September. Automatic calculation, automatic detection, automatic, forecasting is done by the system out of the box. Yes, out of the box, out of the box. This is the beauty of automatic forecast. Next is called smart grouping. So smart grouping allows us to cluster the data. Last feature allows us clustering or grouping of data, basically dimensions based on similarity of measures. Its job is to group the data based on the dimensions similar to their measures. Each dimension is treated as data point, and we group them based on colors. Let's see an example of smart grouping. I go back and add a new chart and I choose it as a scatter plot chart. On this scatter plot chart, I will plot my sales agent, how are they doing. So each sales agent will be act as a data point. So I go and choose sales agent as a dimension, and I will choose my x-axis as what was the number of customer meeting each sales agent had versus what was the total order value they generated for company. So you see this guy, Landry Jordan, is highest amongst all, and we have other sales agents here. Now it's a time that I want to do bands in my company. Every company have the band system, right? You have the levels like employee, clerk, white collar, blue collar, right? Then you have managers, manager category. So you want to categorize these employees, group these employees in different groups. So it is better to organize. What we can do is select, come down, and you see smart grouping. I enable that and I say I want to categorize all my employees up to three groups. And let's label as Anubhav. Enter and just wait for a few seconds. Wow, there you go. It has grouped your employees automatically into three colors, which makes it super easy for your business to utilize this information and group these employees. Make sense? That's the feature called smart grouping. So we saw search to insight, augmented analytics, smart discovery, auto generation of entire dashboard, smart insight to give a textual information about the most important most important dimension in your chart. Time series forecasting, when you have a function of time, data or measure is a function of time, you want to automatically forecast. R visualization, I already showed you R integration in the previous class. Then smart grouping, clustering your data into different categories and groups. Smart transformation, we already saw when we did model. If you remember, we got option for concatenate and split. So those were the options related to smart transformation. Now, one very important factor here, that not all of these features are available for live data model. So right now we use acquired data model where Analytics Cloud stores all the data. Yes, all the data. But in future we will also do live connection. So this is a matrix which is what will tell you what is available when. Are all the smart assist feature available for live data or not? So you can see category acquired data and live data. All the features are supported. All the features are supported on BIN planning model with acquired data. With acquired data, all of them you saw. But on live data, we don't have all the features supported. Many of them are planned in future. You can always check product roadmap when these features will be available. Now, another interesting point is none of these features are available on data sets. So someone asked me this question, what is the difference between model and dataset? This is first difference. On model only you can use this smart assist feature. On datasets you cannot. You cannot use this feature. This is the first difference between model and dataset. Yes. Soon we will see more differences between them. So this is a feature support matrix. For latest updates, kindly check the product roadmap whether a certain feature is available for live data or not. Yes. That is something you have to go and check the product roadmap. But remember one thing, not all the features are supported with live data, but all the features are supported with acquired data. With acquired data, they are supported. Yes. So this is the support matrix which you might want to check before you really go ahead and give a decision to the business whether you can do smart insight or smart assist features applied on their data set or not. For in general acquired data set, all the features are available, which we saw already in the class. So this brings me to the end of today's class. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask your questions at this time.
Hello.
Yeah, Naren.
Sir, I am trying to, like in the last lecture, you had shown actual versus target.
Hmm.
Okay, in that, I was trying I have 2 years data, like fiscal year 2021 and 21-22. Sorry, 21-22 and 22-23, current year and previous year. And target is available only for current year. When I am calculating the target based on the fiscal year on a linked model, the target is showing for both year on the table.
So
What could be wrong
when
in
you
that?
do join, the join
Yes, sir.
was based on product or other criteria. It was not based on the time. Yes, it
Okay,
was not based on time. So it will show data from both models by aggregating them. Let me show you it
okay.
on the slide. Explain you in the slide. So if you look at the data set, the one which we have at the moment. So maybe you
Mhm.
have here the date. Let's say date is Jan, Feb, Feb. Product A, product B, product A, product B. 100, 200, 300, 300. On the target data, you just don't have dates. You just have A, 900 was the target, B, 600 was the target. When you do the join, you are joining the data based on product ID. What system does? At runtime, system will just join between them. It will get all the data from this table, this data set. It will not consider the date at all. It will simply come A and aggregate and B and aggregate. A's total is 400, B's total is 400, 500. That's what system does. And then it does the join with this data. Okay. It says A is equal to now 400 was my actual, 900 was my target. For B, 500 is the actual and 600 was my target. That is what system is doing. It is discarding the date completely because our join criteria was based on product ID.
So if I have done on product ID as well as the date, so should I remove the product ID?
Yes, you can remove product
And
ID and then the comparison you should not put products. Then the comparison you should put dates.
okay,
You can give a try. Source and target.
okay, sir.
This should be out.
Or I can change the link type that you had shown. Like by default, it is a left outer join, and then it
Yes, you
should be
can
on
make it
intersecting,
intersection. If you want common data,
inter-
you can say intersecting only. That option you can choose. It's an inner join. In that case, system will always compare. It will check. It will check and then it will fetch the data.
Mhm. Okay, sir.
The
Let me see,
default
and
is
I
left outer join.
little bit more.
All the data from the left table will be fetched and given precedence.
Okay,
Mhm.
got it.
Hi
Thank you, sir.
Anubhav, Hi Anubhav, I have a question related to
Yes.
the point of interest like you mentioned in the last class. I
Okay.
understand, but is any other area where I can utilize this point of interest?
So point of interest can only be utilized for geo coordinate data. So why we
Okay,
created POI is because we want to reuse. That's the only purpose. Your company have plant information and you want to build, let's say 100 analytic dashboards. All of these need plant information. So option one is in all the model you keep plant, 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 plant. Option two is you keep the plant as POI centrally and then use this in all 100 dashboards. So tomorrow if the plant data changes, you don't have to touch all 100 models. You just change the POI and it auto adapts in all the models where it is being used, all the dashboards where it is being used. That's the only use of POI, and only to store the coordinates data.
So other than coordinates data, I cannot use POI. Is this
No,
right?
no. So basically three
Okay.
ways. One is from Excel file, shape file. So you saw shape file is another unique use case.
Yeah.
And then another one was from the model. So you
Okay.
have, let's say, plant information in one model and you want to make it global. You extract and make a POI out of it and then reuse that POI in other models.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Thanks, Anubhav.
All right, guys, that comes to the end of
So,
episode.
one last question, sir.
Uh-huh.
So, all this smart insight that we are doing is in the normal model. It's not planning model, right, sir?
Yes, but you can do them in the planning model also. I will show you and we'll start planning from tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Mhm.
Thank you, sir.
Uh,
Yes.
one more question.
Yes, Shweta.
Um, in blending of models, we link hierarchical dimension means it shows hierarchical dimensions are not supported.
Yes,
Supported.
you are right. So at the moment, SAP does not support joins between hierarchical columns.
Okay. And one more question. Um, last class I have talked about the data updates. Try to do like different import settings like import append, but after clicking OK, it gives me expand error. Oh, why?
Can you show me the screenshot of that error in the next class? Or you have it handy
Yeah.
now? You want to show now? If the system is open, you can show.
It's not open. Can I mail you?
Yeah, you can email me.
Can which email
So,
address?
one more thing.
Mhm.
Hello, sir. Narayan here.
Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
can we, can in this meeting screen, can you put on the timeline,
I
timings?
saw your email, but unfortunately, I cannot do that. It is going to be equal amount of going through 2 hour class for me. So it is not possible to put a timeline. However, in our training material, we have a
Uh-huh.
feature called speed control feature. So if you think that this topic you're already comfortable, yes. So when you're
Mhm.
going through the videos of this training, yes,
Okay.
you can play
Yes.
the speed control actually. Yeah, using the
Okay.
speed control, you can do that. Yes. So that's something
Okay.
which you can use. So there's a speed control option which is available. You can use that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, guys. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.